Hi, this is Raman, your tutor from Alberta Real Estate School. Today we'll take a look at the exam weightings for the Brokers program. The Brokers program comes after you have done all the practice area exams. This is if you wanted to become a real estate broker. In this video, we will break down which units are more important for the exam and which ones are not that important. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at the exam weightings for the Real Estate Brokers program. So this is a course that you would take only if you wanted to become a broker and wanted to run a brokerage, which means not everybody needs to take this program. First, let's take a look at the steps that you need to follow in order to become a broker. First thing is to complete all the courses in the 4 practice areas. So in this case, you would have to do your fundamentals of real estate, practice of residential real estate, practice of commercial real estate, practice of rural real estate, as well as practice of property management. Once you have passed all these courses with 70% or higher, then you can move on to the Real Estate Brokers program. This is one single course that you have to take. Again, you have to get 70% or higher in this program. Next requirement is that you need 2 years of real estate experience in Alberta in the last 5 years working as a real estate associate. Once you meet all these requirements, then you can become a broker. Going back to the broker's exam, the number of questions that you can expect to see on the exam is 150. So this is one of the larger exams that we see in real estate. Let's take a look at the breakdown of the weightage by the unit. Unit 1 is Real Estate Act. This is also always an important unit. So it's worth 15% of the mark, which means we can expect around 22 to 23 questions from this unit. Unit 2 is Employment Legislation, which is worth 12% of the mark, which means we're looking at around 18 questions for this. Unit 3 is Planning a Real Estate Brokerage. This is worth 8%, so around 12 questions can be expected from Unit 3. Unit 4 is Ethics and Professionalism. It's worth 10% of the mark, which means we're looking at around 15 questions for Unit 4. Unit 5 is Trust Accounting. This is a very important unit. Trust accounting overall is very important because we are dealing with other people's money. So this is worth 20% of the mark, which means we're looking at around 30 questions for Unit 5. Unit 6 is Risk Management, again, an important topic, and this is worth 20%. So again, about 30 questions can be expected from Unit 6. Unit 7 is Money Laundering and FinTrack. This is worth 15% of the mark, which means we are looking at around 22 to 23 questions from Unit 7. So overall, the total number of questions that can be expected on the exam is 150. Now, all the questions are multiple choice questions, which means you don't really need to memorize anything. You don't need to write a whole lot of stuff. They're all computer-based. It's a computer-based exam. You log into the computer once you go to the exam center, and you will do the exam online. So there are multiple choice questions and there's no negative marking. So you don't have to worry about losing marks if you get the answer incorrect. So if you don't know the answer to a question, it's best to follow the process of elimination. If the question has one correct answer, then generally there'll be 2 options that are completely incorrect. You can tell right away that they are wrong. So you can eliminate those. And then between the 2 options, just go for one that you feel instinctively is the correct one. Just go with your gut feel and just take a guess because you don't want to leave the question unanswered. So make sure you answer all the questions. The time per question in this case, you're looking at about just over 1 minute to answer the question. In terms of the time to answer the question, you're looking at just over a minute. So it's very important that you go through the questions quickly and not spend too much time on any one question. So if you don't know the answer, leave it till the last and come back and review the question. You may be able to find the answer by answering other questions, or you can just take a guess at the very end, but please make sure you attempt all the questions. In terms of the passing percentage, we're looking at 70% to pass the exam, which means out of the 150 questions, you need to get 105 correct. So let's recap. The real estate brokers program has 7 units, and unit 5 and 6 are worth 20% of the mark each. So these are very important units. You can expect around 30 questions from both of these units. And then we have the money laundering unit as well as the Real Estate Act. Both of these units, 1 and 7, are worth 15% of the mark. So we're looking at around 22 to 23 questions from these 2 units. So all in all, unit 1, unit 5, 6, and 7 are worth a lot of marks. So you want to make sure that as you're preparing for the exam, you focus on these units. So that's it for today. If you have any questions or need help in preparing for any of your Alberta real estate and mortgage brokerage exams, I invite you to visit www.albertarealestateschool.com, or you can give us a call at 587-936-7779. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.